Selling homes was deemed an essential service in some places, and as of late May, physical home tours are now allowed in all 50 states. Here are some steps both buyers and sellers can take to minimize health risks while navigating the housing market. Step 1. Understand the COVID-19 landscape.
The market condition is very important because before the pandemic, housing market was rolling along. The sales were up roughly 5% from the prior year. Home prices rising above people's income growth. And what happened during the pandemic is we had far fewer listings, which means that we have even more acute housing shortage. And we have not come out of that shortage situation. So even as the listings are coming out, there appears to be more buyers entering the market also, given the historically low mortgage rates. So for buyers, understand the market expectation that they cannot get a discount, especially on the mid-price or affordable price points in many cities across the country. So that's one thing to assess.
Step 2. Consider virtual tours and do your research.
First, realtors always need to meet the expectation of their clients. So from home sellers' perspective, knowing that we still have not discovered a vaccine, that they do not want so many strangers visiting homes, touching the doorknobs. So because of that, there is more private appointment showing, assuring that the people are financially qualified, they have a mortgage approval letter already in hand. So rather than some casual observer, they want serious potential buyers to visit home. And second, for casual observers, here is the link for virtual tours or many pictures of a home to satisfy the person's curiosity. And for the buyer's perspective, also buyers are concerned about catching COVID as well. So before the pandemic, normal consumer would have made a dozen visits physically before deciding. But now people are doing most of the homework online and doing physical visit only 2 or 3 times.
Step 3. Tailor precautions to building type.
A multifamily or multi-unit apartment building is going to be different in the sense that you have shared spaces, right? So you have common amenity spaces, you have a shared lobby, more people touching the same handrails maybe. So that's naturally different. And so there are different precautions you have to take. So it's a mask wearing as soon as you leave your apartment through that whole experience. I would be vigilant at that time. That's hand washing before and after through that experience. I would also ask your building owner about the ventilation system. Ask them if they're bringing in enough fresh outdoor air, and importantly, what they're doing about recirculated air. All of the recirculated air should be going through a high efficiency filter. Normally buildings have what's called a MERV 8 filter. MERV 8 captures a small percentage of airborne particles. They should have a MERV 13 or higher, MERV, MERV 13 or higher. That's really important.
Step 4. Reduce risk with additional safety measures.
So people come through and you have these controls in place, including physical distancing, mask wearing, opening up the windows. I think it'll still be okay in the sense that the risk will be low and manageable, not zero risk. Again, there's no such thing. But if you want to add another control step, you could ask people to self-certify before they come over, or outside to say, do you have symptoms? Make sure you don't have symptoms. You could have them do a quick temperature check to make sure you're weeding out people who maybe have a fever. So you could add that, up front before people come in as just one extra layer of control.
Step 5. Shift showing hours.
We don't want everybody in one space at one time, right? Because we're talking about, we want to minimize occupant density. If a building hasn't been occupied in a while, for example, a house that's being shown, time is a disinfectant too. So if it's been several days since someone's been in, let's say a new home that's being showed, or even a day or two, any concentration of viral material or virus on a surface will also start to decay over time. So the risk there can also be low, depending on how many people are coming through the space and touching the same surfaces.
So in order to navigate buying or selling a home safely, keep in mind, if you're a buyer who needs to move quickly or eager to lock in low mortgage rates, you could ask for a viewing contingency clause in your contract, so you don't get stuck with a house that does not meet expectations. There could be a second housing demand in the next few years, as more employees allow people to work remotely. Yoon predicts that people will want to move further into the suburbs, where they can afford a home with room for ample office space.